We're talking constituencies, we're talking electioneering, we're talking campaigning, and we're talking what really is happening on the campaign trail with our correspondent, but also having a feel of what those who are also undertaking the campaigns are doing. And so we decided to pull one visitor into the studio. He's a parliamentary candidate for the NDC for the Asene-Manso-Akroso constituency. It's in the eastern region, and well, just in case you want to find where it is, this location, just Google. I'm sure you can, when you go to Google Map, you can find it. But the man is here, and we know that the seat is currently being held by the MPP, right?
Yeah.
And we'll be touching base with our correspondents on the campaign trail as well. A very good morning to you, Richard Roland Aqua. Okay, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for...
You contested the last time, I was checking.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
How difficult did you find the last time compared to this time?
Right, thanks a lot. A very good morning to your cherished viewers as well. And I thank the CDOs of Multi TV for giving me the opportunity to be here this morning. Well, I did well, but I couldn't win the other time. And this time I am in for gold.
What makes you so optimistic?
Well, I remain the most popular guy, the most popular politician in that constituency today, just because I was in the race 2012 and I am now in the race again. And with the experience that I had and with the number of, arrangement and the chat and negotiations that I've done with people, I've grown to know their problems better. And I can tell you that the people want me to go. And due to the numerous projects that I've done on my own, I can tell you
that you have the support of the people.
I'm telling you.
I remember I was checking your vote you got in excess of 11,000.
11,000.
Your opponents got in excess of 17,000. That's a gap of some 6,000. How do you intend to beat that?
Well, we are starting on a fresh note. Unfortunately, my opponent is not going again. And the new person taking over from him is one Judge Kwame Abuaje.
Who's also a new person.
Yeah, I learned he was supposed to be here, so I thought we were going to do...
Yeah, he said he had some exigencies.
Some of these things do not help us because we are supposed to sell our messages to the people. Our constituents are supposed to know who and who are contesting. Apart from you doing the grassroots work, we are also supposed to come out, express ourselves for people to know who are representing them. So I am now contesting with Judge Kwame Abuaje. He took over after the primaries from the incumbent MP and the outgoing MP, Honorable Yao Subuatin. Well, so we are starting from a fresh note.
All right.
And I believe I can beat him.
All right.
Even today. When we vote today, I can beat him.
Well, we'll see how that goes. We have a message. It says the MP parliamentary candidate couldn't even make it to your studios because he has not kept his promises. Even when he was an assemblyman, after he was voted as an assemblyman, he couldn't even come to his electoral area. How can he be the parliamentary candidate for or the member of parliament for AMA? Is that the constituency?
Yeah, AMA. Asene-Manso-Akroso.
Okay. And that's from Oliver. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. Please keep sending a lot more of your messages. But we also want to know what's happening on the campaign trail. We know that we have a lot more to talk about from the eastern region. The president had been having the tour, the inaugurating project, etc. We have Maxwell Kudako is on from the eastern region, where we have the wife of the vice presidential candidate of the MPP, also there undertaking a number of campaign activities. And Maxwell, what can you tell us has been happening with the deputy flag bearer of the MPP's wife as far as her campaigning and her activities are for the elections?
Well, Roland, Mrs. Samira Baumia started her tour of the Eastern region last 3 days. She's been to Abrem constituency. Yesterday, she was at the Kedi and Akotia constituency, respectively. Today, he is expected to address mini rallies in the lower West Achim and upper West Achim constituency. The target of the audience have been Zungo communities and almost towns in these constituencies that she's been visiting.
Maxwell, your line, I think your line is terrible. So perhaps if you can reposition yourself, that'll be better. Otherwise, we'll have to call you back. Are you? Is it better now? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
The line is so bad, so we have to call him back. But we have Richard is still in the studio for the Asene-Manso-Akroso constituency. But I've been reading a lot about that constituency, and it looks to be a very stronghold of the MPP. And particularly if you look at the demographics in themselves, how would you appeal, or have you been selling your message or appealing to the voters across the constituency?
Thank you very much. You know, it is true that that place remains the stronghold of the MPP until 2012 elections. But when I came in, the people realized that no, the constituents have gone beyond, voting on partisan lines. Now they want people or somebody who can lead them to, chalk massive development. That area has been lagged behind for a very long time. You know, the MPP has taken over this seat for 20 solid years. And you could attest to it that when you go into the constituency, you find out that things are not moving on well. It is because of the abysmal performance of the leaders that we've had so far. There is a leadership vacuum in that constituency, and that is what I want to fill.
Okay.
And let me say kudos to the outgoing MP for the area, Honorable Yao Osubuati. Honorable Yao Osubuati, unlike his predecessor, Honorable Yao Safumafu, Osubuati is just an MP. When I say just an MP, I am not trying.
You mean the current member of parliament?
Yes. But Osafumafu was a cabinet minister for 8 solid years. He was the finance minister for President
Kufuor. When Asene-Manso-Akroso was part of the constituency.
Then he became the youth and sports minister. So but the Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. The constituents were expecting Honorable Yao Osafumafu to do better. And I believe that has affected the performance of Honorable Yao Osubuati. That notwithstanding, Honorable Yao Osubuati has, performed well as compared to Honorable Osafumafu. And I am telling my good people of Asene-Manso-Akroso constituency, especially Asene town, where the MP comes from, that I am going to take over from where...
Which section of the constituency do you come from?
Asene-Akroso.
Asene-Akroso.
Yes,
okay, I have this one from Charles Edu from Gomuajaman. Yeah. Is it in your area?
No, it is not in my area.
Is he scared of Honorable Roland Akwa, or can't withstand his popularity in the constituency? That's why he's not here. That's your main opponent in the MPP?
Yeah.
Okay. We invited both of them, but he decided, he said he had a meeting the last minute, so wouldn't appear.
But, let me come in here. I am expecting the president on Monday in my constituency, and I was supposed to attend a regional meeting, which is supposed to prepare the grounds for the president. But because you had invited me, I sought permission from them that this is a media something that we need to do. So you can go ahead with the meeting. Let me also give them the needed respect that they need. That is why I'm here.
Okay. From the text, so when the text messages we're getting, it seems that you seem to be quite popular.
My nickname that I use is Action Man, and it stands for something. The people, especially the youth in the constituency, need action now.
Okay. I have this one from Moses. Moses says that he's also texting from your constituency. He says, please, the MPP candidate is scared of Roland's questions. That's the reason why he couldn't make it to the studio. Okay, it says scared of you.
Yes.
That's why he couldn't make it to us. You seem to be a groundsman.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How did you start your political career in the area?
Well, I started from this unit committee something. Okay. I thought it was that nobody could be of help apart from us. As the legendary Bob Marley said, he said, none but ourselves can free ourselves from mental slavery. And the situation that we find ourselves in, the youth are not having jobs. I mean, the most prominent job in the constituency is not functioning very well just because they lack, financial or credit facility. And a whole lot of things are happening in the constituency. Currently, the constituency needs a district hospital at all costs. And before that can come on board, we need to fight for a district status. And that is what I'm doing. And when you go to Asene and Akroso, in the constituency, we have 3 traditional towns, Asene-Manso and Akroso. And Akroso being the constituency head, I've taken it upon myself to lobby for, the principal street of these towns to be tarred so that it will be fit a status of a district. So you see, I am on grounds working seriously for the constituency to be emancipated from the current state that we find ourselves. That is why I am so popular. And my opponent is a new guy, he has come on board. He needs to follow the line because I am the most senior politician in the race now. And surely I will beat him to it.
Okay, it says Roland from AMA constituency. We need a man with a vision to lead our constituency, and that man in the studio, Honorable Akwa, is the man to do all for us. It says Akwabeye, Akwa do all.
Yes.
Is that your motto?
Yeah. When I say action,
when you were coming, did you tell people to be texting you?
Oh, not, but most of them are aware, including everybody. I mean, they
watch
opponent,
because anyway we get a lot of people watching.
Because we've made noise about it when we were invited about a week ago. Is that also?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they know.
Okay. So you say good morning, Roland. I'm Malaika from Etiankama Nkwanta.
Yeah.
It says Action Man will win December. But it's good that we have a lot of your supporters giving a lot of those messages. But
most of them are.
My experience have shown me that you getting 11,000 votes means that you have a lot more people. Okay, but the gentleman from the MPP is on the ticket of a party that has a predominant support in the area. And we have to be realistic when we're doing the analysis.
Yeah. As I told you, we are all starting from a fresh note. And I have no vote now. He has no vote now. We are entering to the race. And it depends on what you do. Mind you, the people have realized after 20 solid years, that constituency cannot even boast of a hospital. Currently in Akroso, at Akroso, the health posts that we have there, they don't have a place where, female ward or male ward, they all...
It's a combined ward.
It's a combined ward.
So you want some...
And it is very pathetic. This is as a result of poor leadership.
And so usually where do they go and patronize their...
apart from Akroso clinic, they go to Odan, and it has put a lot of pressure on Odan government hospital. And at times...
so you want to lobby to have...
I have already done that. It is just a matter of time.
Okay.
Just like the district status that I was saying. And in the beginning of November, Akroso roads are going to be tarred. As for Asene, they have already started.
All right.
And
so we have this one from Samato, who says, the man in your studio is a man of vision and vigor and results. We need him to lead us. Samato, we've heard you. And this one also from Benjilo from Asene-Akroso says, Well, they want you to lead them, action man. You're called action man.
Action man.
Okay. Now, predominantly, when you go to many of the communities in AMA, in the area, Asene-Manso-Akroso, some of the roads leading to the communities are not good.
Yeah.
As an MP, you're only a change agent.
Yes, sir.
You don't necessarily undertake the development.
Yeah.
How do you hope to have all those things done?
You cannot do politics without having lobbying qualities or skills. I've lobbied to the extent that my president, that is President John Dramani Mahama, the man who is working miraculously in this country, has promised me. I went together with some of our chiefs, so they know as I'm speaking, they attest to it, that the road from Aguna Swedru to Asene-Akroso and even to Odan is in the pipeline. They are processing it to be awarded to a contractor. So you see, and apart from that, there are so many feeder roads linked to the constituencies which are very bad. And I've also done that. I'm saying a lot of things are going to happen in the month of November, because I am going to put all those roads into good shape before we go out to vote. So the people testing know what they are about. I remain an icon of the youth in that constituency, and they see me as their hope. I mean, somebody who represents their hopes and aspirations.
What lasting legacy would you want to leave in such a constituency, which predominantly usually would vote for the opposition MPP?
I would like to offer a leadership that is, based on service. I am not going to be a boss here. I'm going to offer good service to my people and bring the Akroso to a level with other constituencies that are, people see them to be championing development. So I'll make sure all things that have been lagged behind, or all things that we are lacking, will be put in place, so that at the end of the day, if I even go for one term, people will know that I've done my best, and the best is very appreciable for them to vote for somebody like me again. I'm not only interested in the MPship. I want to alleviate my people from the current suffering that they find themselves.
And that because for many of the places that you go to, you find that many of the communities in Asene, as well as in Asene-Manso and Akroso, many of those communities have farmers.
Yeah, it is true. My place is a predominantly
farming community. And they'll need a lot more assistance in that regard as well. Because it is through those things that they can have improved livelihoods.
Yeah, it is part of my plans and the strategy that I'm using for this election. I've already grouped the farmers, and the name of the group is Action Farmers Association. I just decided not to attach any political note to it, in order to attract many people from all spheres of life, from different political backgrounds. Because when it comes to food or bread and butter, we are not supposed to attach any political colors to it. What I'm going to do is that I've realized they lack credit facilities. The people over there are eager to farm. They are eager to engage themselves in agri. And luckily enough, we also have good vegetation and good farmlands to cultivate our crops and other things. So I have already grouped them. What I'm doing right now is to provide them with basic farming input and materials, like cutlasses, Wellington boot, and mist blowers, in order to help them produce more. Then I am putting in place a credit facility in the form of cooperative society or cooperative group, so that the people, whatever they need, they will go to this office, and then the office will provide them with the assistance, and during their harvest season, they will repay with some of their produce. I believe if the farmers are truthful to themselves and repay whatever they've taken, I believe it will go a long way to help other farmers who are not going to be on board for the first time. Change is a very difficult thing. When you want to change something, it takes very few to join you. And I know all of them are not going to join me at the first instance, but many will come later. So we will help everybody who will come on board. And then we try to develop the very constituency that we find ourselves. Because as I said earlier, nobody can come outside to help us. We ourselves need to help ourselves.
We have this one, Roland. The man is indicting his own party, the NDC, which he belongs, talking about all the things that he's talking about. His party is in power and he's blaming the MP on leadership. He doesn't know that everything that needs to be done should have been done by government. It says, this coming from Eric.
If Eric knows that MPs are change agents, he wouldn't have sent this message. Maybe he has his own idea. In Ghana here, people are practicing machete politics. They know the truth. They're
practicing machete politics.
Yes, politics of convenience. That is what I tell you.
Someone I should ask you, for the past 8 years, what has your party done for the area?
When you enter into the constituency,
that's from Opong for Manso.
Yeah, all the good things in the constituency are done by or were done by the NDC. Let me say one thing. When you go to Manso, that is why we have Akriamai Senior High. All the buildings over there were built by NDC from Prof. Mill's time up to JM's time. Currently, there's a project going on at Manso. They call it Medical Village. They are building housing facilities for all the medical staff in the eastern region. And we were able to lobby this project to Manso because I realized I cannot develop Akroso alone. I cannot develop Asene and leave Manso. So Asene has gotten a 5-kilometer tarred road. They are on it doing at this moment. Secondly is Akroso, that this project we decided to put it at Manso. So if he doesn't know, he needs to find out what.
I have to say that it is commendable that you got the votes that you got in the last election, particularly knowing that it's a stronghold of the MPP. But how do you get to convince people who predominantly are very loyal to a certain party to vote the other, even though you may be a very good man, you have good intentions for the area? It beats my mind.
Yeah. Let me say again that the people over there themselves, they've realized that they've depended on MPs for 20 solid years. And this is where we are. So they've now, embraced themselves for a change in that constituency. I've engaged in a lot of chat with people. I have special groupings, and even MPP people, special ones, I must say. And we've discussed a lot of things. We've initiated a lot of moves that will ensure that the constituency develops. And when you go to a town like Akroso have realized that all the people that they voted for, at the end of the day, they turn their back to them. And Akroso is the largest town in the community and the constituency capital. So the youth especially have woken up at this time, and they've just decided to vote for their own and see whether their own too can also perform. So as for me, I don't take the 2012 result Though, as a serious politician, it must be a benchmark for you. But we've all started afresh, and I'm going to beat Oluwa to it.
What's his name?
That is his nickname, Oluwa. His name is Kwame Abuaji, George Kwame Abuaji. I am going to beat him to it. Yeah.
All right. Somebody actually asked you which 2 projects that your government has completed in the area.
When you go to, I only mentioned.
Yes, I know you've mentioned some projects. That's why. But because the messages are coming, if I don't read those, I'm biased, so I have to read.
I mentioned Manso Senior High. That is Apiaman Senior High. Go to Akrosek and see mansions. I mean, I am so proud of my president. He does things in a very wonderful manner. I mean, the kind of buildings that we have. I attended Akroso Senior High. I completed in the year 1996, but a current board member of the school. When I went back to the school, I said, what is happening? The school has undergone tremendous change, tremendous transformation. That is why I earlier on said the president is working miraculously. He is doing miracles that we all need to support him. But due to machete politics, some of them have even decided to close their eyes on the achievement of the president or the project that he has done. But whether they open their eyes or not, we are going to do more. And I'll make sure that the constituency gets its fair share of the national cake.
Okay, so how's the campaigning ongoing so far?
It is going well. It's going well. But I just had an information from Manso that some unscrupulous people have, taken my banners that I erected.
You hosted there?
I hosted there. Only yesterday.
They've pulled them down?
They pulled them down. But, it is very bad. It means at this time of the day in contemporary Ghanaian politics, some are saying in the dark. They don't understand democracy, partisan democracy, multi-democracy. Tolerance. You need to tolerate others. They did a program at Akroso last Sunday. And where they did their program is about 10 years away from my house. I was able to tolerate them. I knew very well all the information that they were churning out were 90% untruth. But I kept my cool. I wore them. Nobody tore their posters. Nobody pulled down their flags. But the president is coming to my constituency, and I need to.
When is the president visiting the area? Monday. Okay. Somebody says I should ask you, Christians. I should ask you what plans you have for Manso in terms of industrialization. Which potentials have you identified?
Yeah,
Manso is prophesying one district, one factory. So
that one is a mirage.
Okay. So talk to us about what you've identified in the area that you think that.
Well, the people are into palm
predominantly, just like we have in Kede.
Yeah, so I've sat now with some people who are ready to move down and then empower the youth and the even the farmers. And we have women who process the palm into oil and other things. And apart from that, this medical village that we are bringing down there, it will bring a lot of prospect to the place because business people, market women will sell and other things. Aside that, Manso is the traditional head of Apiaman.
Okay.
And they have a festival called Apia Festival.
Is that where we have the Apia Mountains?
No. It is called Apiaman. So I have already taken steps to this Ministry of Tourism and other things, and they've all decided to help me by coming on board. We look for sponsorship for Atria or Atriaman so that our festival can be celebrated like a Futu. The one that they do at Winneba and Ashanti region.
Like Abuatre.
Abuatre, and
all right.
So we will open the place for investors to come on board.
Okay, we wish you all the best, though.
Thanks very much.
We should also say that we invited the MPP. He's been contestant in the election that will be coming up in December, and he called the last minute, just some few minutes before the start of the interview, that he had a meeting. He thought it was more important than appearing in our studio. So we had no choice than to fill the content that we have with Richard Roland Akwa, who is from the Asene-Manso-Akroso constituency. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks very much.
Okay,
sir.
and I wish you all the best. You have good plans for the constituency.
Any last minute word or?
Yes, yeah, you can. You can say anything you have for your constituent. Please go ahead.
Well, you know, the behavior that
if you want to speak local.
No, it is okay with me. The behavior that my opponents have just shown indicate what they've been saying all the time in my constituency. They know that place is NPP stronghold. So when you vote for them, they don't do anything. When you vote for them for 20 solid years, they don't do anything. A media like multimedia has invited you for a program. He said you have a meeting. I mean, meetings can be postponed. That is why he didn't come.
But that's all right. He's not here. So.
Yeah. And I must tell my people, Asene-Manso-Akroso people, that I am coming with good plans for you. A servant leader is on the way coming. Don't listen to lies and fabrications being channeled by my opponent, but be on the ground and work for me as we close to victory. The people of Asene, I know you sold your color TV to buy black and white, but no problem, I'm around. I'll make sure I continue the good works of Honorable Yao Osubuati.
Okay, so if you say they sold their color TV for black and white, it means they are being deceived.
Yeah, the
it's
MP.
Okay. It's not up for discussion. That's all right. Richard Roland Akwa from the Asene-Manso constituency in the Eastern region. He's the parliamentary candidate for the NDC. And we invited the MPP parliamentary candidate as well, because usually we wanted the banter between the two of them. Just a few minutes to the start of the interview, he gave us a call and said he couldn't make it. So please, you have to excuse us for that. But thanks for passing through. We respect that from you. It shows how serious you are for how you want to campaign.
Right.
And we wish you all the best.
Thanks a lot.
Right now, we're taking a break. We want to get onto the campaign trail, get to speak to various reporters we have on the ground to tell us a lot more what they think about what the campaign is going, what they've been observing as well. We already have on the line Maxwell Kudeko, and Eastern region we have Samira Baumia, the wife of the vice presidential candidate of the MPP contesting. What can you tell us about her rounds in the Eastern region?
Well, she started the campaign last week at the Abremu constituency. Yesterday she was in the Kade and Akotia constituency respectively, and she's expected to visit the lower West Akim and upper West Akim constituency today. In just about 30 minutes, she will start the campaign in this constituency. The focus of the campaign or the audience she's been addressing primarily are the Zongo communities and mini rallies of these constituencies that I have mentioned. In the Zongo community, she asked the Zongo people to consider the MPP or give the MPP another chance or opportunity to better the laws of the Zongo community. Samira Baumia said that the MPP is the only political party in Ghana that thinks about the well-being of the Zongo community. She indicated that President Kufuor initiated or introduced what they call the Islamic Teachers Allowance, where teachers who were teaching Islamic were given some allowance. But the NDC government scrapped the allowance. So the next MPP government, when is formed, would reintroduce the allowance. He also talked about the Zongo Development Fund that is being proposed by the NPP and other social intervention programs would be implementing to better the laws of the people. She was not too happy about the style of governance being exhibited by President John Mahama, she described the president's administration as an incompetent one and said that it has taken the NDC 8 years to build the foundation. That is what the NDC claims they have been doing in the past 8 years. So she questioned what Professor Mills did in his 4-year term. If President Mahama claims he has been building the foundation of the economy. Samira Bawumia charged the people to support the NPP and Nana Akufo-Addo to policies that will better the loss of the people. She said throughout her tour in the Eastern region, she's realized that this region is one of the regions with a poor road network. But the NDC claimed they have constructed a lot of road and improved infrastructure. But when she came to the Eastern region, she didn't see this kind of infrastructure. So she asked a lot of people to support the MPP and Nana Akufo-Addo. She also made a mockery of President Mahama that he claimed to have fixed a lot of roads. But when he was touring the Eastern region, he used a helicopter moving from one constituency to the other. So he questioned that if the roads are good, why is it that he's not using cars, but rather he's using helicopters? So people, this is what he's been telling the electorate in the Eastern region.
Well, thank you very much, Maxwell Kudeko, who is on the campaign trail for Samira Bawumia, the wife of the vice presidential candidate of the MPP. Well, we have to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a lot more of the calls from our various correspondents on the campaign trail. Then we'll wrap up.